Okay, so today we're going to be spending a few minutes taking a look at two new red words, and those words are out and because. Let's take a look at the first word. O-U-T, out. Now, when you take a look at this word, let's take a look at what doesn't make sense. Well, the O, usually we hear it, the ah sound. The U should sound like and the T should sound like t. And really, the only letter in this word that makes a lot of sense right now is the last letter, T, which still keeps us t. But the O and the U sound nothing like they should in this. In fact, if we said it by sounding out each sound the way we know it right now, it would sound something like this. Out. And we know that that doesn't really make any word. But eventually what you're going to realize and learn is that OU, when you put it together, is called a vowel team. And one of the sounds OU can make is the sound ow. So when you learn that sound that OU can make is ow, and then you put it with t, out, makes perfect sense. But we haven't learned that vowel team yet, so we have to learn it as a red word. And this is a word we just have to memorize right now. So the way I remember it is the way my mom and dad used to tell me when I wasn't allowed in a certain room or they wanted me to leave for a second. They'd say something like, out. O-U-T says out. And that's kind of how I remember it, thinking of that. O-U-T says out. And that's how you can also learn that word. Of course, also use the red word procedures that we've learned to help you spell the word out. But I like to think of that phrase, out. O-U-T says out. Let's take a look at the next word. This is a little bit trickier, but it is such a useful word. B-E-C-A-U-S-E. This is the word because. And we'll be using this word a lot, especially as you read books and articles and stories and have to answer questions about those texts and writing, because a lot of times you'll be using the word because to give proof or evidence from the text. And so this is a really useful word to learn. But wow, can it be tricky? Again, what's tricky about it? Well, look at the first part, B-E. That sounds okay. B-E, we know that B-E can make the B sound, and K can make the K sound, especially because A follows it. But then here's that tricky part, the A-U. That does not make much sense at all. Because and AU doesn't really make that sound except in this word. And of course the E right here is silent, but it doesn't act like a magic E, which we haven't learned yet. But when you do, we know that the magic E will lend all its power to the vowel and give it a long sound, and it really doesn't do that. You don't hear the A or the U as a long vowel sound, so the E doesn't really work as a magic E in this word. So this is one of those red words you just have to learn how to spell by memorizing it and practice and reading it and writing it a lot. And the way I always remember this word is I put it to kind of like a rhythm or a chant, and I say B, and I'll put a dash, E, C, and then I kind of stress, or I make the A and the U louder, because that's the tricky part. A-U-S-E. Now I'm only capitalizing the A and the U because I want to emphasize that and really put a lot of stress in it. So when I say those letters, my voice is going to get a little bit louder. So this is how I would learn the word because if I were learning it for the first time. B-E-C-A-U-S-E. Because. And it's always important to read that word, not just spell it, because you want your your brain to learn the spelling and the reading of that word at the same time. So watch again. B-E-C-A-U-S-E. B-E-C-A-U-S-E. And if you say that enough times and practice it just a few times a day, you will learn how to spell the word because. And that's just a short video of how to learn our two new red words, out and because.